Hey up and welcome to Callum's Corner. Welcome to a very special vlog. Right, today is the 1st of November. Over the following month, I am going to be documenting and vlogging my participation in No Not November. Now, not all of you may know what this is exactly, and I'm not an expert on it. I don't really know when it started and stuff, but it has become something of a cultural phenomenon. It's basically where a man makes the solemn promise that throughout the month of November, he will not experience pleasure of that special variety, the boom boom variety. Not just boom boom, but singular boom either. It's a difficult thing. A month is a long time for a man, and you get used to certain things. I don't think the boom boom will be a problem for me. I don't get an awful lot of action recently. And the boom may be just a singular boom, if you get what I mean. Maybe slightly more of a challenge, but even that, I don't think will be as much of a challenge as it used to be. I basically, a couple of years ago, I made the kind of decision that I was going to abstain from sites such as the Hob, at least as much as possible. I'm not some kind of evangelical Christian or anything, but I have kind of come to believe that the standard of modern day pornography is turgid and it rots your mind. That's not proper boom boom. It's just weird pre-rehearsed moves, and half of the women look like they're out there bloody face on smack and stuff. It's a weird thing, and I don't really like it anymore. So I don't think it'll be too much of a challenge in that respect, although I do have an awful lot of information in the bank, having gone to Thailand 3 times in the last year, hoping to move out there and stuff. It's not the reason I'm moving out there, but there are a lot of awfully attractive women out there, so maybe that will be, slightly more of a challenge, the memories and stuff, the evenings out and stuff. But I think I will be okay. But anyway, I'm going to document all of it. I will be checking in regularly with you. And then at the end of the month, I'll put it all together in a vlog. Or maybe I'll do a couple of vlogs. We'll see how much I end up recording and stuff. I don't think it'll be too much of a challenge at this point, so it might be few and far between, but we will see. Right, the challenge has begun. Right, good morning to you, although I'm using a bit of artistic license there because it's not actually morning anymore, although I have only just woken up. I'll be upfront and honest with you, I failed the sleep stream last night. It's particularly galling after giving it the biggin in yesterday's vlog, but yeah, I failed, and I feel a bit defeated with it, to be honest with you. I don't know how I can succeed at this point. Last night was my best chance. Like I was saying, I hadn't announced that it was happening, so people weren't pre-warned about it. Recently, I've been smashing the challenges, so my confidence was up and stuff, but it's just relentless. People put on so much jarring, horrible music is putting it very loosely. Yeah, I don't know where I am with it. But that's not what I'm, here to talk about. I'm here to have a little moan about the challenge itself. I think it didn't have a lot to do with me failing the challenge. It's only been 3 days. It's not like I'm extra stressed or anything because of it, but it was after the sleep stream. Obviously, a sleep stream's a really stressful experience. I'm trying to get to sleep and people are putting on this horrific stuff. I'm constantly being woken up and stuff. And at times of stress, there's always been that way that men have been able to relax. And that was obviously not available to me last night. I just could not sleep after the sleep stream. There was no way for me to just switch off. I've said this in one of my Thailand vlogs, didn't I? It's the oldest kind of sleeping pill known to man, that, isn't it? For thousands of years, it hasn't let us down. If I had a time machine, I could go back 5,000 years and there'd be a bloke in a cave, yanking his bloody yogurt rifle by firelight. He'd had a tough day, he hadn't caught any yak, he's got an empty belly, he's struggling to sleep, he knew what to do. Actually, it was probably purer back then as well, wasn't it? It's been infiltrated a little bit. It's been, it's kind of, there's regional variances nowadays and there's perversions and stuff. Back then it probably was just that. And a little bit more innocent in a way. There's none of the kind of, Welsh with their sheep and stuff, and there's other countries with goats and stuff. And we went to no, actually, I probably shouldn't talk about that. But there's some countries that, judging by social media, where they just shag anything. God knows what the French are doing. And it's not just the nationalities, is it? People are strangling themselves and stuff nowadays. So probably thousands of years ago was much purer. And that's what I would have been seeking. Obviously, I'm not a pervert or I'm not French or anything. But I would have liked to have been able to sleep, and that it would have really helped if it wasn't not November. It took me bloody hours. Yeah, it was getting light and stuff. And I keep hearing the bloody badgers and stuff. I don't know. It's just I feel more stressed than normal. And I'm really, really tired. And I feel like I might have said something inappropriate about different nationalities. So I'm probably going to stop talking now and just get on and have a frothy coffee. I feel rubbish. I'm going to cut my hair. It's absurdly long. It's out of control. Cut my hair. I feel a bit more with it. But yeah, failed the sleep stream. And actually what I'm struggling with in this whole not November thing is not the sensuality side of it. It's actually the sleeping side of it, the de-stressifying. Yeah, interesting. Only a few days in and already noticing that. I'm going to have a coffee. Right, good afternoon to you. Warning, this update has absolutely zero to do with not November, the act of masturbation or sensuality of any kind, but I am in a mood and I want to get it off my chest. So I'm gonna offload slightly. If you're only here for the no-notting stuff, then you might want to skip this bit. I'm not happy. I'm not a happy body. My computer's broken. It's a nightmare, absolute nightmare. I've been obviously trying to wake up all day and feel with it, and it's been a struggle. So I thought I'll get my computer organised and set back up. I did my sleep stream last night, well, my attempts at it. And obviously I have to move my computer over to where I'm sleeping and stuff. So I thought I'll move it back, get everything organised, feel a bit more, tidy house, tidy mind kind of thing. Moved it over and it wouldn't even turn on. Spent ages checking all the wires and stuff. Normally when something happens, it's me and my ineptitude, my incompetence with technology. But it didn't seem to be with this. But eventually it did turn on, and then it's just gobbledygook on the screen, like symbols and stuff, massive patches missing, it just totally not right. I took some photos and uploaded it to my bloody subreddit. Eventually got some normal replies. Obviously, most of them were like, oh, you spunked in it. Stupid stuff. But I think, judging from the replies, it's my graphics card. Although someone did say the GPU may be gone. I don't know. Both of them sound really, really serious. I know nothing about computers like this. I've had this since the end of 2019. It's like my lifeline. I've had help setting it up and stuff. All the settings are right. I barely know how to stream off my laptop. It's a nightmare having to try new machines and stuff. All my stream settings were done for me. All my bloody editing, I hadn't even thought of that. I almost finished my next tiling videos on my bloody computer. All my footage is on there. This is absolute nightmare situation. I'm setting my laptop up now, so at least I can still stream, but I've urgently got to try and get this fixed. I hope it can be fixed, or I don't know what I bloody do. Right, good morning to you all. Welcome to the 6th of November. So we are almost a week into the challenge now. And I thought this morning I'd sit down and have a little chat to you about it all. One, because it's my day off today and I've got the time. And two, because we're almost a week into it now. And I'm realising a lot more about it, the psychological side of it. That is definitely what I'm struggling with. I'm tired. You can probably see it on my face. I am not sleeping well at the moment. Now, that's not because I'm some kind of mad masturbator who cannot fall asleep without the aid of one off the wrist. For me, it's at the moment, each night I'm hearing stuff, and there's these badgers that keep coming into my garden. I haven't actually seen them for a while, but about 6 months ago I saw them for the first time. Lenny was going mental. It was really late at night and stuff, pouring at the door. I looked out there and there was this huge badger, great big fat thing. I think it was a mother, and it had like a baby with her, although it wasn't like small like a baby. They're both really plump and healthy and stuff. And badgers can be so dangerous to dogs and stuff. So obviously it put me on edge, and I scared them off, banged on the door and stuff. And they didn't come back for a little bit. Also keeping the food disposal bins like up high and stuff out there seems to have helped. Before they were down like mine and my neighbours were down low, like in the bin area, whereas now we keep them up high on a shelf and stuff outside, and that seems to have helped. But for some reason they've come back recently, and it's keeping me awake at night, like I'm hearing them and stuff. And normally, like, you get disturbances in the night and stuff, but normally I'm able to go back to sleep. And if you can't go back to sleep, man's always had a secret weapon, isn't he? You know, we've all known about it. It's been there throughout the ages. Our fathers knew about it. Our grandfathers knew about it, probably in World War II, when times were tough and stuff and they couldn't sleep. They, probably employed it. It's tried and tested throughout the ages. And that's what I'm struggling with. Like, maybe because it's on my mind more, like, oh, I can't do that, so I haven't even got that option open to help me sleep and stuff. I don't know. But it's interesting because that gets you thinking, doesn't it? Like how it changes throughout your life. I remember being a young lad, discovering that for the first time. I remember being like 14, 13 years old, staying at my grandma's house, Diana, her true story, the pictures of her as a teenager, imagining the two of us together and stuff. It was a whole different ball game back then. It was a madly, grossly feral thing, as a teenager. And now it's more like sleeping pill. It's more like a device that can be utilised. Maybe that's because you think more tactically as you get older, or maybe just your mind changes. I don't know. Yeah. Shame about Diana, wasn't it? I do wonder, like, would it still be, if she'd made it, if all that tragedy hadn't happened, could still be having one off the wrist over her today, I reckon. I reckon she would have held up well as she got older. We'll never know. We'll never know, would we? Actually, that's something that people with AI should be doing. Like, people torture me on my streams, creating AI videos of me and people I know and stuff, saying these awful things, and they sound quite realistic. Annoying, actually, makes me cross. But rather than using these skills that they've got for those gross purposes, why aren't they why is no one making an AI version of like Princess Diana in this present day so we could see what she was like? Bob Marley and stuff, like make an AI of that. I'd love to see what Bob Marley would be like nowadays. Have a little conversation with an AI Bob, an AI Princess Diana. And any, if you're thinking, oh, well, money would be made out of that and stuff, well, give it to a foundation. Diana would have loved that. She was all about the charity. Make an AI version of Princess Diana. She could be like a little app where you could chat to her with your problems and stuff, and it'll all be lovely advice. She was good-hearted lass. Any money it makes, give it to a foundation. She would have bloody loved that. That's an interesting idea, that. Anyway, I'm going to have another frothy coffee, get myself a bit more in gear, and I'm going to head over to... I won't tell you what town I'm going to head over to, but I'm going to a computer shop to hopefully finally get my computer sorted. I do think it's the graphics cards. Hopefully they can help me with it and I can have my computer back, because I'd almost finished editing my next Thailand vlog and I've got a couple more on there and my on-scene footage for the members and stuff. I need the computer back. It's the only place I've got that footage, and yeah, I'd like to get the vlogs going again. Right, let's have some coffee. Let's get moving. Right, I'm back. Welcome to the worst Sunday on record, basically. Sordid bloody Sunday. I don't really want to go into what's been going on, but I did upload a urgent statement yesterday regarding the situation. Basically, my mother has been conducting a secretive affair with my bloody neighbour, a sordid seduction of my neighbour. It's disgusting and it's outrageous, and I should not have to deal with that. But that is the situation. I'm just left having to deal with it. It's very early in the morning. Well, it's not ultra early in the morning. It's only like 7:30, but I've been up for ages. I'm not sleeping very well at all at the moment. I've disrupted my sleep schedule by attempting a sleep stream. And then I've been worrying about the bloody badgers and trying to get rid of them because of Lenny and him being in danger and stuff. And now I find out that it may not even have been the badgers that I'd be listening to, but the sound of my mother shagging my bloody neighbour. It's ridiculous. The whole situation is absurd and I'm fed up of it. I'm fed up of having to deal with it. I'm expected now. All yesterday I was being knocked up and people messaging me, my mum, my sisters and stuff. I've just got to get over it. Ridiculous. It's a betrayal on every single level. My neighbour, he was meant to be my mate. I've told him about what my mum's like and what she's done in the past. I've spoken to him about it, so he knew. And my mother is like the one that I really blame. She knows what she's doing. She's got history with this stuff, and now she's wormed her way potentially back into my bloody life and stuff. I'm now having to look at maybe moving house again for like the 3rd time in 4 years. I already moved to the Isle of Wight to get away from bloody Bristol and all that side of the family, and she ends up coming down. And I finally get away and get my own place, and now she's shagging my bloody neighbour. I don't want her around. I just want a place to live where I'm not going to be bothered by my mum's sexual depravity and people coming and knocking on my door and sending deliveries and stuff. A man's home should be his castle. And yeah, my home's tiny, but it should still be my bloody own. Tiny things can be decent. They can be nice. And I'm just fed up with it. Just bloody fed up with it. I'm expected to just deal with it. No, if you'd come to me and spoken to me and been honest about it, maybe I could have dealt with it. But you're treating me like a child. Now I'm going to act like a child with great relish. I'm not going to engage with you. I'm going to take Lenny off today on the bus and we're going to go for a bloody long walk and I'm going to get myself a pub lunch. And you can just stew in your own filth. Ridiculous. Good morning to you. I'm out walking first thing today because it is a very special day. It is Lenny's birthday today. Can you believe it? He's 5 years old. Where's that gone? That's crazy. So I thought I'd take him up to the windmill. It's his favourite place. I used to live quite close to this. He's always loved it up here. I get some footage of him. He goes mental as well up here. He loves to roll in stuff. Doesn't make his smell any better, but there you go. Yeah, 5 bloody years. It's got me thinking. I do a lot of good thinking when I'm walking. I think it's because I've not got my earphones on. Normally, don't really like to be left alone with my thoughts, but I don't mind it so much when I'm kind of walking then. And it's good to be thinking at the moment, because obviously I'm doing this challenge, and it just got me thinking, have I given up as much as I thought I would? Yeah. Maybe like the odd night it's been slightly more difficult to sleep, but in terms of the pure art form of kind of wankery, for want of a better word, I challenge you to look back, if you're any kind of age, and say, am I past my wanking best? For me, I look back and I can't think of even a single great masturbatory experience that I've had in the last 10 years at least, and I think probably all of the best kind of wanks of my life, the top 5 certainly were between the ages of probably 14 and 19, 14 and 20 maybe. Yeah, passage of time, it passes without you even realising, but it's not been as difficult as I thought it would be, and actually I think it's been quite positive. It's focusing my mind in a way. Nice day as well, nice morning, it's crisp, it's not cold, it's dry. Yeah, everything's going quite well apart from the situation with my bloody mother, but I've been dealing with it my whole life, I guess. I can deal with it a bit longer. Hey up and good morning to you, and it is a morning of the good variety. I slept really, really well last night for the first time in bloody ages, and I'm just feeling good, I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling ready for this. You know what I mean? I don't just mean ready for the day, although I do feel ready for the day. I've freshly shaven my head, I've showered and stuff. For me, this is as good as it gets. But also, I feel ready to rock. Do you know what I mean? Confrontation's a weird thing. I know some people, some of you maybe, struggle with it. You're uncomfortable with it, you try and avoid it, because it is a weird feeling, but you've got to relish it. No one else is going to stand up for you and get you the outcome you want. If you don't relish and give your all in any kind of confrontational situation, you just get walked all over. You got to stand up for yourself. And I'm ready for this. I've got a cool, calm demeanour ready to go, and I've got stuff worked out. This is going to be... I think it's going to all come up bloody Callum. Well, it's not going to come up Callum, because I'm still going to have to eat it in some sense, aren't I? My mum's going to be shagging my bloody neighbour, but I'm going to pull the rug out from under them and take the moral high ground at the very least. Anyway, I've got to get going. Apologies for the sound of the tumble dryer, by the way. I've only just remembered to turn it back on from last night. It's got to be on now, otherwise the clothes will be in danger of going stale. It's a nightmare situation. I need them to go. You know, I'm away next week. I need my washing ready. Yeah. Right. I'm going to get moving. It's a really irritating journey. It takes ages. It shouldn't. If I drove, I could get to where I need to go in about 20 minutes, but I don't. So I've got to catch a bus and change and catch another bus. What should take 20 minutes will take me an hour at least, I reckon. But soonest begun, soonest done. I don't want to be late, and if I get there early, I can just pop over to the big Tesco's, I guess, and do my big shop. Right, let's get moving. Right, I have made it to Big Tesco. Took me ages on the bloody bus. And I've had a horrible realisation now that I've got here. I don't actually need a big shop this week. I'm going away. I don't need all that food. So I'm now here, like 40 minutes early. Yeah, I don't know. I may as well go in and look round, I guess. The garden centre we're meeting at's over the road, but I don't want to get there 40 minutes early. I want to be the last one there so I can make a proper entrance. Yeah, I'm going to go and have a look round and see if they've got some Lego sets. I want to start doing some Lego on the streams. Yeah, let's have a look. Right, I am heading in. I know they're here because I've seen Amy's skipmobile parked up, but I'm in no rush. I'm going to take my time, let them stew a little bit and make my grand entrance. Busy bees. We always end up going here. I think they choose it because they think I'll hate it. It is full of kind of weird little kind of hippie stuff, like ornaments and stuff. I'll show you on the way in. But the joke's on them. I actually love a garden centre. The food's reasonable and there's loads of good like shrubs and tools and stuff to look at. So, yeah, I'm actually winning. Anyway, let's go in. I'm so ready for this. I don't know whether it is the end of not November thing that's made me feel so much better, whether I'm just going through a good patch. I might stick with it, to be honest with you. I mean, what am I losing? Don't get the same pleasure as you did when you were much younger. You know, it's a young man's game, wanking, isn't it? It's for teenagers and stuff. I might actually stick with it. Carry it forward. Treat it like the sacred seed that it is. Only bestow it on the lucky few who are worthy. Anyway, let's head in. Let's do this. If you want to know what man in his peak format looks like after total annihilating victory, this is it. Strolling round the garden centre, examining the barbecues. Tickety bloody boo. Right, I have returned. I'm back home again now. It's taken me bloody ages to get here. The bosses on the Isle of Wight are just absolute arse, especially on a Sunday. It's maybe you can even see that now. It's full dark outside now. That's how bloody long it's taken me to get here. Normally, I would have just been stressed and stewing on the boss like, oh, this is wasted time, just resenting every minute of it. But today, I just sat back and enjoyed it, just saved my victory. It literally could not have gone any better today, right? So, I got to the garden centre and I meandered my way in. I was in no rush. Eventually got into the restaurant bit and found them sitting round the corner. Now, Mum hadn't brought my neighbour, which was at least one thing that would have made it slightly more awkward. My sister that I do like was there, but she'd left Eddie up in Bristol, which was really disappointing. But it's best he's not involved with this stuff. Like, he doesn't need to know his grandmother's a bloody slot. And also Amy, she'd brought her children, although they were off wafting around the garden centre, but she'd also brought her new girlfriend, which was totally unexpected, but actually turned out to be a massive bonus. So I sat down and straight away Amy's trying to take control of it. She always does this. She thinks she's like a mediator or something. She thinks she's got emotional intelligence. She's got no kind of intelligence. Anyway, I cut her off and I said, no, I'm sorry, you're going to have to let me talk. And she didn't like that. She was like trying to insinuate that I was overreacting and stuff. But I was ready for this. And I used language that I wouldn't normally use, but I know that she would just have to shut up about. Just saying, well, you've got to let me have my reaction. You know, this is unfortunately, it's gone on behind my back. And, you know, I'm entitled to emotional reaction and stuff. And her girlfriend was nodding away, so there was nothing Amy could have said. And I just laid into it. I just went on about how they'd gone behind my back, how they should have just been honest with me. And because basically, I had a little flourish on the end of it after, like, giving her, like, my mum an excellent lecture, a total dressing down, right? And I said, well, it's no surprise that Amy's turned out this way. And Amy was immediately, like, her eyes were like a cat's anus that had lemon juice popped in them. They were like slits, they'd shrunken. But I just started listing off all the different slotty things she's done. And there's now she could say, and her girlfriend, like, was just looking at her like, I swear there was disgust in her eyes. It was absolutely brilliant. By the time I'd finished, everyone was silent. I just wandered off and ordered myself a burger and sat there and ate it. Everyone else just had to sit there and talk right into the atmosphere. It was like I'd done the world's biggest, nastiest fart in a small room and they all had no choice but to just eat it. And I got myself a burger with an egg on it. It was bloody lovely. Amy's a vegan. The egg was just like the cherry on the top. It actually seemed like to massively offend her. The whole day was glorious. I feasted upon their tears. Bloody lovely. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to go and talk to my neighbour, if only because he does live next door to me and our dogs do really like each other. It's not fair on little Matty, his dog. He's a decent dog. I'll never be proper mates with him again, though. I'm not going to trust him. How can you trust someone who slept with your mum? Especially as I'd spoken to him about what my mum was like and stuff. It was a massive betrayal. But such is my bloody place in life. I've just got to deal with that now. Still, I'll enjoy the victory. Hey, all right, the weather is cold, but I am strong. I'm marching on with this bloody challenge. I'm feeling good about it. Not sleeping like particularly well, and that has been a loss, but it is definitely been something to focus my mind and strengthen my resolve. And actually it's made me, it's that whole thing, isn't it? Absence makes the heart grow fonder, like, and people in, not that I was ever like a wanking addict or anything like that, but you speak to people who were addicts on drugs and stuff, and they start to kind of value their sobriety. And I'm kind of starting to value my seed a little bit more, like the act of knotting, spunkery, whatever you want to call it. It's becoming, it's more special because it hasn't happened for ages. And I think it should be something more special. You shouldn't just be wanking willy-nilly, especially not with all the turgid pornography there is around nowadays. Not saying you have to save it for the special lady or something, but maybe if you are doing that, it'll motivate you a bit more to actually get out and meet lasses. That's the way I'm thinking about it. Maybe not doing that will push me to go out there and meet someone and stuff. Who knows? Anyway, as I'm here, I'm going to head down to the butcher's. I've got to get a little treat for Lenny, so yeah, we're going to stroll on down there. We're back up at the windmill, by the way, but it's not as nice as it has been recently. It's gone all wet and cold and stuff. Yeah, right, down to the butcher's. This is the start of Lenny's treat experience. So I grabbed him a bone at the butcher's, which he will be able to enjoy at his convenience, his leisure later. But I also popped into the village itself and I got a small chicken and I've roasted it in the air fryer. Now, roast chicken is Lenny's absolute favourite. You love it, don't you, mate? Yeah, very intense eye contact he's making with me at the moment. Yeah, he absolutely adores roast chicken, so I've cooked it and I've cut it up because you've got to be wary of chicken bones. And he's about to have this as the beginning of his feast. He's absolutely going to love this. I've put some biscuits in there as well, so it's not just incredibly rich roast chicken. There is some kind of kibble in there too. But yeah, this is like his dream meal. Massive shout out to Malsey. What you got to say then? Are you going to say thank you? Hey, right, I have literally just finished working and I'm about to gather my last kind of stuff together and then I'm going to head off. I'm going up tonight to Gatwick Airport where I'm going to stay the night. Well, not in the airport, but in a little budget hotel close by. I've got to be at the airport for like 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, heading up tonight. I was going to wrap up the vlog here. I'm doing it in 2 parts. I was going to wrap it up a couple of days ago, actually, but there's been so much happening. I've kind of just carried on and gone with it. Basically, I was going to break it into 2 parts. First half and No Not November, second half. But yeah, I've carried on for a couple of extra days. I may as well carry on, I think, until I get up to the hotel. And then I'll start the Morocco vlogs. Obviously, will still be not in. Well, if for some reason that did happen, I would also tell you about it as well. I'm just, I'm going to be entirely transparent about any seminal matters. Right, yeah, need to get my stuff together, need to get moving. It's proper exciting, isn't it? Yeah, I'm enjoying this month. I thought it was going to be a real challenge, and there's been highs and lows, don't get me wrong. My mum has made it way more difficult than it needed to be, adding all that stress onto it. But actually, it's turned into quite a positive thing, and it's been a bloody good month so far. All right, let's get moving. Oh, right, I have arrived. Well, not in Marrakesh, Morocco or anything yet, but I've arrived to my Premier Inn just outside Gatwick Airport. I thought I should do one last update for this vlog before I finish it off, because I'll probably start a new one tomorrow, what with the travelling and stuff. Yeah, just reflecting on the whole kind of first half of No Not November. Well, the first 2/3 actually, I've gone on a bit longer. It's been a positive experience for me. I don't feel I've really struggled with it like I thought I would. If anything, it's made me stronger. The only thing I've really missed about it is the stress relief option, I guess. But it's not like it's been going round my mind or anything. Slightly more on my mind, actually. That's something interesting to talk about since I've checked in here. But I think that's just because of that song, you know what I mean? The Lonely Wank in a Travel Lodge. It's just kind of going through my mind. I've heard it so many times in my bloody streams. I mean, this isn't a travel lodge, it's a Premier Inn, but I mean, the vibe is undeniably wanky, isn't it? Undeniably kind of masturbatory, and these budget hotels shudder to think how much semen has been spent in these rooms by travelling businessmen and lonely blokes and stuff. So maybe the atmosphere of it has kind of made it slightly more on my mind. But yeah, positive bloody experience so far. I'll stop short of proclaiming it as an amazing thing and something you should all be trying until I've actually completed the challenge. But at the moment, it's looking bloody good. Right, massive thank you to you all for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please could you leave a like. If you didn't, please could you leave a dislike, just so I can judge your honest opinions. And yeah, thank you very much if you've made it this far.